Welcome to my first video in my new series, Controlling the Battlefield. I'm Scott, the Mass Nerder, and I hope to just highlight squad strategies to help you win the game. In this episode, we'll be talking about Operation Metro Conquest. Oh, Operation Metro. Enough of it on YouTube already, right? And it's because it's easier to get a lot of kills, but it's also one that can be hard to win if both teams have a slight idea of what they're doing. Also, I'm going to be using the fast forward button a lot to speed things up. Maybe you should take some motion sickness pills before continuing. But seriously, I can fast forward or just delete segments of the game, which I've done some of here also. Just let me know in the comments which you would prefer, or if a mix of both is preferable. Anyway, using the tactics here, you can almost always turn the tide of battle as long as you and your 3 friends in your squad work together. And I'll highlight a few of my mistakes here as well, so you do as I say, not always as I do. And first, watch your health. When you have less than 20% health, don't keep popping your head out like me. So, on the start of the match, the team spawning at Alpha Flag is closer to Bravo and has the advantageous spot, so be careful running up there. This map can be dreadful once the spawn trap ensues, so your first objective is not actually to go for Bravo. First, just make sure you have a solid line between Bravo and Charlie, because if they triple cap, it can be one hell of an uphill fight. Once you see that your team is sufficiently advancing and you're not losing your foothold on C, time to focus on Bravo, which is not easy by any means. Medics can come in very handy on this map, as well as at least one support. Medics become commonplace, but man will you rack up the points by taking the time to drop some ammo crates. I started as engineer. I think I was trying out a new gun or trying to get some SMG kills or something. I switch it up soon. Remember with the roles though, be careful when you revive, and make sure to try and orientate your revived teammate to where the enemy fire is coming from and so forth. And here we can highlight another mistake. I'm just assuming this area is safe, thinking this guy took fire from behind security booth, but you gotta be cautious and check your surroundings, though it's not always easy. The enemy can pull off some surprising flanks in this map from time to time. And of course, you're seeing the meat grinding that goes on in this map. It's just important to do it effectively, not only to bolster your KD, but to also keep control of Bravo. So, we'll just watch for a bit. Use whatever means you have, explosives, claymores, health, ammo, whatever. You'll see, though a few deaths are taking place, we're getting solid revives and capping the flag. Don't get anxious, wait for the enemy to come to you. They'll continue to rush up, and that just means one more of them dead, and a quicker flag capture for you. So, let's flip to our overhead view for a minute, shall we? I just want to show you where you need to be standing to be capturing the flag. You can be in the ATM section, but you cannot be in any part of the Bravo hallway, and on the middle escalators, you have to be near the top quarter of them, just enough so your head is poking up for the enemies to shoot. The key point for us though is where the X is located, as this position, as we'll show soon, can be readily defended. But back to the action to watch me die a few more times. You've seen throughout this match, I've spent a lot of time in, shall we call it position X, but now I'm over at Bravo stairs. We don't currently have anyone up in position X, but the place I'm at is a great position to cover your teammates trying to get the flag capture. It can get pretty nasty, but if you get a decent setup, you can have the enemies just walking into your bullets for you. So now here we're seeing me try to take a sneaky flank. My whole squad is down, so I'm on the mic telling them to come in on me. No, that's what she said here, guys. I turn the corner, hoping to just get a feel for the enemy's position, and happen to have a guy right there, forcing me to engage and give away my position. And I actually noticed here we had a few guys make it back to Alpha. Great way to take a team that pushes up too far off guard. This makes them send troops back to fight at Alpha, and allows us to gain an upper hand at Bravo once again. Whoa, where the heck did that guy come from? I did not expect anyone to be right there. Anyway, back to the game. After I pick off a few kills right here, I want to pop back into our overhead to start talking about the setup we have right now and how it works. So, looking at the map again, we've got my squad highlighted. I'll only be talking about squad tactics, but the more people you have in these spots, the better. And the easier and quicker you'll be able to gain control and push up. So, I'm the blue guy on Bravo stairs. My squad's all top attacker escalators in position X. They're making sure we don't lose the flag, and I'm keeping them covered. I've only highlighted 2 men in position X though, as it'd probably be preferable to have an extra man over with me. With at least one of us medic, we could assume we'd be able to keep ourselves alive a bit better. So you just saw that clear line of sight I had on the nook near Alpha Crate room, so I'll bring up this blue to emphasize where my focus should be, and I can easily get the upper hand on anyone peeking out of the nook. I can spot men on Bravo flag, and also snag anyone peeking out attacker side Bravo hallway. By myself, I'm pretty vulnerable to someone popping out of that hallway though. That's where a second man could really help out, allow us to divide and conquer a bit more. Position X will help out as well. The main goal in this position is just to spot and call out every enemy moving to position X. Those guys don't get a good view on the battlefield, and they are usually your only hope for grabbing the flag. So you've got to be selfless and give them effective support. Now let's focus back on position X. I'm talking just about 2 men in your squad up here, but hopefully if your squad is setting up, the Smurfs will push up and help out as well. So it's not actually just 4 people versus 12 or more. The main goal in this position is just stay alive to get the flag captured or defend it from being captured. So if things get really crazy, just drop some health and just keep focused on either side of the wall for any daring enemies pushing up. When you get the chance though, you'll need to push out a bit and help take down the enemies, because with some of your squad on Bravo stairs, you have to kill enough enemies to allow the capture. So on the screen now is where each man's areas are to cover. Green will also be able to focus on Alpha Nook and Alpha Room, constantly falling back to heal, reload, or just catch your breath for a minute. Yellow's job is to take the enemies down the ATM, or maybe more importantly, Bravo hallway. If you can at least warn your squad mates on the stairs when an enemy is coming from the hallway, they can prepare and probably take the enemy down, if you don't take him down yourself from this position. With a setup like this, you are almost airtight. The only way the enemy should push through your lines is if your team is vastly outgunned, or they dip down middle escalators and pop up behind you. Just watch for skulls popping up on the minimap. If you see a friendly die close or behind you, ask one of the squad mates from the stairs to fall back and check it out real quick. Before we pop back into the action, I'm just going to highlight the progression of moving up, as you'll see. The X's are where you'll be able to go after you push the enemies back a bit. First, moving to flag level. Watch that hallway though, it's a death trap for flailing explosives. But the ATMs offer nice line of sight, and if you have a squad mate over in Alpha Room, you've got both sides covered. Then, as you'll see, it's up to the security booth for the beginnings of a spawn trap. People get very bunched here, so take advantage and drop some health and ammo to rack up the points. Here's a nice setup you'll see us do in just a few, with all of us covering each other. Here's the highlighted zones to cover. Though generally, if you hold this for a bit, the enemies will start quitting out, and you can go grab Alpha to help finish the game up a bit quicker. Okay, let's finish up the game. You'll see I cut to a part where we lose control for a bit. Man, I didn't think they'd still be back here, but it's okay. We've spread them pretty thin, so we get back in the action and take control relatively quickly. We know the game is close to over, so we just settle in to grab a few extra kills before we win. And that's it. I know this map is probably either hated or overplayed on YouTube, but hopefully I presented some clear views on how to gain control and turn a Conquest match to your squad's favor. I really love working with the overlays and images like this, so hopefully you enjoyed it as well. If you want to see a video listing all the callouts used in this video, swing by the description for a link. Also, on your screen now, you'll see a link to my Roles of the Assault Kit video. It will come in handy if you want to play the medic role to its full capabilities. Also, here's a live team communication game of my friends and I, just to show you, though I talk a lot of tactics, we're usually pretty relaxed and just play to have fun. Hopefully you game for the fun as well. Happy gaming, nerders.